Top 10 citrus fragrances for men. The weather is starting to become beautiful out here. The sun is shining. We spent hours at a park yesterday. And this is the kind of weather whenever I'm looking for something that is maybe aquatic, fresh, citrus. Definitely the kind of weather whenever it starts to warm up and the sun is shining that I am looking for these tart, sweet, fruity, wonderful, fresh, invigorating, happy citrus fragrances, and I've got 10 of them for you. Stay tuned and remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and consider giving a very citric, orangey, lemony even. Click to the like button if you like the video. Let's go ahead and begin. All right. First up, we're going to go with this one right here. I think this is still one of the best value buys for an anytime, anywhere, every situation, versatile fragrance. I'm talking about Missoni Wave. It is a somewhat aquatic, fresh, spicy citrus fragrance. A lot of similarity between this one and Versace Signature or even Chanel Allure Homme Sport. It's just a great fragrance. It is fresh, it's clean, it's a massive crowd pleaser. Everybody seems to like the way this smells, and very inexpensive, Missoni Wave. Another one that is very inexpensive and I think an excellent fragrance. I think this size bottle you can get for around $20. It's made by a big designer brand. I'm talking about Jimmy Choo Man Ice. And this has been described as like an iced lemonade fragrance, and it really does smell like that. There's a certain kind of musk that almost reminds me of vetiver, almost like a light vetiver, similar to something like Rosia Elysium or something like that as far as the musk or vetiver note. Vetiver's not listed, but it reminds me of that. Other than that though, it's like lemon and orange. It's sort of like lemonade with a splash of orange. It's been often compared to Dior Homme Cologne. Really good stuff. Jimmy Choo Man Ice. Something that is not in the ultra cheapy range, but still very great price on any of these fragrances from this house. It's a niche fragrance, but very affordable. I'm talking about Mancera Intense Cedrat Boisé. The original Cedrat Boisé is also excellent. The difference being this one has a touch of oud and a little more leather and woods, but basically this is a fruity fragrance with a good bit of citrus. There's some other fruits as well, but there's like 7 or 8 fruits I think in this fragrance. But then there's also this little bit of woodiness and leather and the slightest touch of oud, which really gives it some base, gives it some weight in the base. It is an incredibly versatile fragrance, similar to something like Creta Ventus would be, or even the Shane Hasavat. This is a happy fragrance. I love this stuff. And I've got a bunch or several things that smell a lot like it. Again, Mancera Cedrat Boisé or the Intense. Next, we'll go with this one here, and I'm gonna have another one as sort of an addendum to what I say about this one. This fragrance has been voted, I believe, the greatest fragrance of all time at different times in history. I'm talking about Terre d'Hermès. And this is basically orange, I think bergamot, so it's like an orangey citrus with some woods and some earthiness. So it's like a earthy, woody vetiver and a lot of orange, like kind of a sweet, tart citrus. This is like the ultimate office scent. It's one of the most versatile things that you would ever wear. Not everyone loves the earthiness though, although I think it's a great fragrance. It's not something I could wear every day, but it's something that every time I wear it, there's something very familiar and comforting, and it is a compliment getter for sure. I'm talking about Terre d'Hermès. And what I would say is, if you don't really like Terre d'Hermès, then you probably want to look into this one because it's got all the pluses of Terre d'Hermès without the things that some people don't like. I'm talking about Eau Givre. I wore this last night while we were at the park, and it is excellent and surprisingly long lasting. After 5 hours, I was still smelling it on myself, still getting the cloud, and it was still on whenever I went to bed. So I haven't done extensive testing on the performance, but I can tell you from last night it actually performs pretty good. But it has that same wonderful orangey citrus from the original Terre d'Hermès, but significantly less of the earthiness. It's still got some vetiver, it's still got some woodiness and a touch of something that is going to remind you of, you know, something very natural and earthy, but it is a little sweeter. It's a little fresher. I think it is the better fragrance now that I've worn this one 5 or 6 times. It is excellent and actually priced pretty good nowadays. Terre d'Hermès Eau Givre. Now this one might not be for everybody. This one, the first time I ever smelled it in a store, I was hooked. I knew that I had to get it. I was so blown away at how this designer fragrance had the most realistic grapefruit note I had ever smelled. I'm talking about Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. Now the Light Blue line, of course, is known as like the ultimate summer scent. You know, they are very fresh. They're aquatic, of course, they are citrus. This one though, in particular, it has the same freshness, aquatic, citrus as the other light blue fragrances. It's got the same musky, woody dry down, but there is this very authentic, juicy, realistic grapefruit note, and you won't mistake it for anything else. Again, the first time I smelled it, I'd never even heard of it because it was new, and I sprayed it on my hand and I thought, I've got to get this. I've got a lot of good memories with this fragrance. So very good. Light Blue Forever. Right, we'll hit another one that is a cheapie. This one here you can often find at Burlington Coat Factory or the other rack stores for very cheap, $20, sometimes even a little less. This is a green citrus fragrance. I'm talking about Banana Republic Vintage Green 78. And it's a easy to wear spring summer fragrance. It does have a distinct kind of grassy greenness, and then it's got a blend of citruses in the top. So if you're maybe just experimenting with green fragrances and you're not ready to fully go like Nishane Hasavat or some other green dominant fragrance, this one would be a good one to dip your toes in because it's cheap, it's pleasant, it's definitely something that a lot of people will like, and it fits this video perfectly because the citrus is just as much a part of the fragrance as that grassy greenness is. Again, vintage green, surprising quality across the board. The packaging, the bottle, and of course the fragrance for the price. Pretty impressive. Another one, now I've talked about this one a lot on the channel. It's just so unique and I love it. There's so many things about it I really like. Talking about Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo Casual Life. And this is basically lemon, violet leaf, pepper, so this very fresh spicy citrus ozonic fragrance, but it's got just a splash of that coffee, tonka bean, Uomo-ness that you get in the original Uomo. They put just enough in that it's there and you get these whiffs of like this intriguing gourmand sweetness in an otherwise very fresh and ozonic citrus fragrance. So very good. Uomo Casual Life, very inexpensive as well. I think it's one of the best in the entire line, in my opinion. I think there's about 5 or 6 of them. This one and Signature are my favorites. Okay, let's go next with this one here. Now this one, you can often find really cheap, and there's been rumors forever that these fragrances are going to be discontinued. I don't think it is yet, but you might want to get a hold of it while you still can. I'm talking about John Varvatos Artisan Pure. This stuff is phenomenal. It is a floral, citrus, green, aromatic fragrance. There's a lot going on. It reminds me quite a bit of Tom Ford Mandarino di Amalfi. That one might be a touch sweeter, but this is a very bright, invigorating, sunshiny, happy fragrance. You spray it on and the birds begin to sing. They might even land on your shoulders. And man, what a great fragrance. And often in that, you know, mid $40 range. Very good stuff. Artisan Pure from John Varvatos. I believe this is number 10. This one has been compared to the flavor of lemon heads. That's what a good portion of this fragrance smells like. I'm talking about another Mancera lemon line, and it does have this candy sweet lemon note, which is so very good. But then there's also some significant aromatics. There's a geranium that is actually pretty noticeable. I think there's some oak moss as well, maybe even some lavender, but there's a good aromatic, you know, fresh, spicy touch that makes it, it's definitely not just a candy, sweet, sugary fragrance. It's got a good bit of that fresh, spicy kind of freshness. Really good stuff. I got this one, I think, towards the end of the summer last year and only got to wear it a few times. Definitely looking forward to wearing this more as it's heating up here in the South. Mancera Lemon Lime. So that's been 10. These were all designer and niche. I got another one with clones coming out in the next day or two, but let me know down below, what are some of your top picks for citrus fragrances that you're looking forward to wearing in the heat? Remember to give that very orangey, lemony click to the like button. Remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents.